Well, I've stopped for a cup of tea, and you can't get any videoing done for dogs barking. But there is a lot going off on the street by the sounds of it. I think there's some kids out there, and I can hear somebody with a football, and there's loads of people shouting, and dogs going up and down to the park. So I suppose I can't expect anything else. But we're having another go at sorting the garden out. It's now Sunday. My last video was, I think it was from Friday and Saturday. So we're still struggling trying to get all the rocks shifted and wire and rubbish, because Mark's hurt his back, so there's not been no going to the tip. So I've been trying to sort things out and do what I can round it. Let me show you. So I've got this to deal with. I can't carry on with the project that I'm trying to do because I've got all this to shift. It was covered with a tarp, but I think the tarp's kind of blown off. But we've got bricks and wire and wood. There's quite a lot of wood behind the back of there with nails in that's got to be sorted out. The other part of the fencing went to the tip the next day, but there's quite a bit that was supposed to go on a second run and has not happened. So got to get that sorted. So I've stopped for, like I said, I've stopped for a cup of tea, and I'm going to get on and try and do a few more jobs, and hopefully in the next few weeks everything will be in its proper place, and then I can start tidying up a bit, sweeping and making things look a bit more prettier. And then it will be a pleasure to sit in the garden. At the minute it's I sit on my bench and all I can see is rubble. Never mind, we're getting there. Then I've got to sort out in the summer house, because one of my big chairs that I have out here is still in the summer house, and one or two other things that need moving out of the summer house that kind of just got chucked in there for the winter. So not be long and everything will be sorted, and I'll be able to sit and have a bit of peace, and me and my friend Joe can have tea and cake in the summer house and sit and talk about plants. That's our favourite subject. What's the matter? No? I gotcha. What's the matter? I've ate all the biscuits. I shared them with you, didn't I? Badge! Badge! What is it? Pigeons again? Oh no, there's a dog on the front, isn't there? Hey, there's a dog on the front. Shut up. Shut up now. Shut up now. I can't video when you bark with you barking. You've got all petals on your back. All the petals are falling off the clematis. All over everywhere. Badger! Never work with children or animals. Hey, because you can't get anything done. And you still have the biscuits. You can't have any biscuits. I bet them all. I bet them all. Hey, let me drink my tea in peace. Moved 2 hanging baskets. These that normally live here. So I've moved these 2 outside. One that side and one on the other side of the summer house. I might just move them in or further underneath the veranda overnight. Hardening off the squash. The covers off, and air can get in, and breeze can get in, but it's not too cold for them, because they've still got a little bit of protection, because the plastic's still on the other side. But they've got to make a start at getting hardened off. So this is the first thing, is lift the protection in the daytime and put it back at night. What we do to try and keep all our plants growing. Oh look, strawberry flowers. These are the ones I haven't moved. I was going to move these into a trough and they never got moved. They just got left in this pot from last year with all the weeds. They're flowering. Just put my jumper on to come outside and show you what I was up to yesterday, and the sun's come out and it's red hot, so we didn't really need my jumper, did I? Right, let me go and show you what I found in the tunnel. I've just took a couple of photos. I'll put them up now. So you can see my 42-day tomato plants have now got little tomatoes coming on them. So I'm quite pleased with that. And I'll show you what I did with all the dahlias yesterday. So I filled all these pots and put my dahlias in. And it's a good job Mark saved all the soil. Let me show you. All these bags of soil, and they're the empty bags that I've used to fill them pots, all came from here. Well, all down this side. This is where we took this flower bed out. So the soil is coming useful. We still haven't got rid of the rocks. They've still got to go. And the wire. But we're getting there. So all these dahlia pots are going to go all the way down this side when we're finished. So a bit more of a close-up of the dahlias. In the back ones, they're my Keller lilies. And then I've got one over there that's not quite come up yet. My hostas are doing really well this year. Look at them. Even the one that comes up late is not doing too bad. I've got an idea of where you can go, seeing as you're in an odd pot and not in a nice fancy one. I have ideas for that one. And this is where I put my flowers that I needed to get out. My Sweet William. I put them around the bottom of the rose. And there, if you can see, the rose is doing really well. It's climbing right up here. So that's a good thing I did, saving my rose. I had a bit of a organising this corner. I've moved the stuff that was here and put my other trough underneath. So I've got a trough at the top and trough at the bottom. And I've got flowers coming on these strawberries as well. And if we move along past my bleeding heart, that's going over a bit now. It's not looking quite so good. They're starting to fade a bit. If we can get over here, look, yellow tulips. Look at that. So I've had some yellow tulips come out. I mean, some of the others are going, you know, but like these red ones are about finished. But these ones, these have been out for ages. And they finally really opened up wide. So I should imagine they'll not be long before they're finished, but they're quite pretty. Update on my pound plants. I keep calling them pound plants because I only paid £1 each for them. And I've moved them actually into the border. And they're loving it, especially because we've had all this rain. And they're flowering. They're quite pretty. My alliums are all coming out. Around this side of the tree. As you can see, there's lots of different ones. Got some little tiny ones here amongst my bluebells. Another one there, look. Now, everything's looking very green after all that rain. So I've got things out to try and harden them off, especially beans. These are the biggest, these are the purple ones, so I thought I'd get them out and these would go in first. Got my zinnias out to try and harden them off. What else have I got out? My lupins. They don't really need to be in the tunnel anymore. They're quite big. I think they can fend for themselves. African marigolds and my sweet peas need to be doing something with them. They've gone a bit long and leggy and need to be climbing up something. Look at me spring onions. All that rain really made these grow. Look at them, they've suddenly got a lot thicker. So it'll not be long before I'll be pulling them up and eating them. I think the garlic's looking well. There's a bit of rust on the odd one. I think it's where they was touching the top of that cover I had on. There, look, where just where they was bent over touching the top. Perhaps they was sat in a bit of damp. I think rust's caused by damp. I'm not sure what rust's actually caused by or what. But there's only the odd little bit on it. So I think that's perfectly fine. Onions, they're suddenly looking a lot better now we've had some rain. I put another Munchkin pumpkin out in this corner, just left it open at the bottom just to let some air in, to try and harden it off a little bit, and then I will pull it down overnight. And let's show you what I've been doing in the tunnel. I'm just about to go into tunnel 2. No, tunnel 1. You know, if I get I'll have to call these tunnels by something else, not 1 and 2, because I keep forgetting which one's which. Yeah, this is definitely tunnel 1. Sorry, I keep calling it tunnel 2 for some strange reason. Just ignore me. I'm just having a mad moment as usual. Right, let's go in here and I'll show you what I've been doing this morning. Right, let's get round here and show you what I've been doing. Look at this. It's quite warm in here. I've put all my aubergines in. Look at that. They're looking nice. It's 28 in here. Nice and warm. I've moved staging from there. So I've just got this at the back. I'm leaving this in for the minute. So I've got somewhere to stand while I come and sort these out. Overnight we've got another cucumber not looking very happy. I've had to stand it up and it's fell over. The bottom leaves have really gone droopy, so I might lose another one. I did say I'd not to water them, but I wanted to give them a bit of food because they was looking a bit yellow, so I put a little bit of water down here with food in, and it's just collapsed overnight. So perhaps but it did go down to 2. Yeah, let me have a look. Yeah, went down to 2 in the night last night. So I just don't think it's suiting the cucumbers. But I have put a few more. I've got 2 more that one I saved out of 3 that tried to die on me. So I've got a crystal apple I managed to save, and I bought a crystal lemon from the garden centre when we went to the garden centre. I think it's called crystal lemon. It's something lemon anyway. But these don't look too bad. Look, these have got cucumbers coming on them. Look at that. The melons aren't overly happy either. I think the ground is just too cold. This one's not looking very happy either. Look, it's very droopy. It's warm enough in here in the daytime, but overnight temperatures are not good. When I pulled the weed suppressant up from here, this was absolutely wet through, this soil, sopping. So I think when it rains, these beds soak it up from outside, and because I'd got the weed suppressant on, it wasn't kind of evaporating up ever so quick. So I've dug it over, put some chicken pellets in it and some bloodfish and bone, and tried to lighten it up a little bit so some of the moisture is going to can evaporate. It has started to dry out quite well, because I've had the door shut and just left one little vent open just to give a bit of air circulation. So I'm just hoping these are all going to be all right. They're looking fine at the minute.